Jai Shri Ram. So today, welcome back. Today we are starting with Canto 28. Bringing home to Sita the austerity and hardships of forest life, Sri Ram tries once more to dissuade her from her insistence on accompanying him to the forest. Bearing in mind the hardships one will be called upon to bear in the forest, Sri Ram, who was fond of righteousness, did not favor the idea of taking along with him to the forest Sita, who knew what is right and spoke as aforesaid. Soothing with kind words Sita, whose eyes were bedimmed with tears, Sri Ram, whose mind was given to piety, for his part, so the tradition goes, then spoke as follows with a view to turning her back from her resolve. Sita, you are born of a high pedigree and are ever devoted to righteousness. Practice your virtue here so that gratification may be caused to my mind. You should act as I am going to tell you. O frail Sita, a dweller in forest, really speaking, suffers from many a hardship. Please know them from me. Let this idea of living in a forest be finally relinquished. O Sita, for a dense forest is spoken of as fraught with manifold dangers. This advice is tendered by me with an eye to your welfare alone and not because you will prove a burden to me. Not only there is no joy in a forest at all times, I rather know it to be an abode of perpetual misery, intensified by the noise of hill streams. The roars of lions dwelling in mountain caves are unpleasant to hear. Hence, a forest is full of misery. Again, on seeing a human being, wild beasts in rut, sporting fearlessly in a lonely retreat, attack him on all sides. Hence, a forest is full of suffering. Rivers are full of alligators and marshy too, and as such difficult to cross even for elephants in rut. Hence, a forest is ever exceedingly unpleasant. The paths are waterless and extremely rugged, covered with creepers and thorns, and rendered noisy by wild cocks. A forest is therefore full of misery. Exhausted through toil, entailed by search for food in the shape of fruits, etc., one has to lie down during nights on beds of dry leaves fallen off themselves. Hence, a forest is a source of great suffering. By day and by night, hunger has to be appeased with one's mind fully controlled by means of fruits fallen off themselves from trees. O Sita, hence a forest is full of privations. Fasting has to be observed according to one's stamina. O princes of Mithila, nay, a mass of matted hair has to be worn on the head, and one has to remain clad in the bark of a tree. Worship may be offered every day to the gods and the mains according to the scriptural ordinance, and hospitality shown to unexpected guests arrived at his door. By those living strictly in accordance with the scriptural ordinance, ablutions must be performed thrice at the appointed time, viz., in the morning and evening, as well as midday, every day. Hence, a forest is full of great hardships. Worship must be offered according to the ordinance laid down by sages at the altar, prepared with one's own hands by means of flowers gathered by oneself. O Sita, hence a forest is a source of suffering. Eating sparingly, dwellers in forest have to appease their hunger with fruits, etc., obtained according to season. O Sita, princes of Mithila, hence a forest is full of hardships. The wind blows furiously every day, thick darkness prevails, and hunger too is rapacious. Besides, there are great perils in the forest. Hence, a forest is a source of great hardship. Well-known serpents of various kinds proudly creep on the tracks in large numbers. O proud lady, a forest therefore is a source of great miseries. Serpents having their homes in rivers and moving tortuously like rivers lie blocking the way. Hence, a forest is full of great suffering. Moths, scorpions, worms, and gnats, along with mosquitoes, harass everyone daily. O frail princess, hence a forest is full of suffering. Thorny trees, blades of the sacred kusha grass, and gnarled shrubs known by the name of kasas are seen with the ends of their limbs spreading on all sides in the forest. O proud lady, hence a forest is thickly beset with hardships. Manifold bodily sufferings, torment, and perils of various kinds threaten a person taking up his abode in a forest dwelling. A forest is thus a perennial source of suffering. Anger and greed have to be completely abandoned. One's heart has to be set on asceticism, and one must not dread even that which deserves to be dreaded. Hence, a forest is a perpetual source of suffering. Therefore, having done with the idea of proceeding to the forest, a forest is not secure for you. Bestowing my thoughts on the subject, I perceive the forest as fraught with many evils, as it were. When the high-souled Sri Ram did not agree to take Sita to the forest, the latter, for her part, did not concur with his verdict. Sore afflicted, she then spoke as follows to the illustrious Sri Ram. Thus ends Canto 28 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Now we come to Canto 29. Sita continues to implore Sri Ram to take her to the forest along with him. Sri Ram, however, is adamant and goes on consoling her and asking her to stay on in Ayodhya. Distressed to hear this plea of Sri Ram, Sita, for her part, who was deeply attached to the latter, gently spoke as follows, her face wet with tears. The disadvantages that have been enumerated by you as accruing from an abode in the forest, know them to be so many blessings in disguise in view of the fact that I am foremost in your affections. Antelopes, lions, and even so elephants, tigers, and sarabhas, a legendary animal with 8 legs and said to be more powerful even than the lion, yaks, as well as ghayals, and many other beasts that roam about in the forest are all sure to run away on seeing your countenance, since they have never seen your face before, and because all are afraid of you. In pursuance of the orders of your parents, I too must accompany you to the forest inasmuch as I am your counterpart and cannot live apart from you. Nay, life in this world must be cast away by me in the event of separation from you, O Ram. In fact, not even Indra, the ruler of gods, is capable of overpowering me by his might so long as I am by your side. Such a thing has been amply brought home to me by you, O Ram, that a devoted wife who stands disunited from her husband would not be able to survive. Moreover, in the days gone by, while living at my father's, O highly enlightened prince, the prophecy which must come out true was heard by me from the mouth of Brahmins well versed in astrology that I must dwell in the forest. Having heard the prophecy at my parents' home from Brahmins, able to interpret marks on my body, I have ever cherished a longing for forest life, O highly powerful prince. The truth of that prediction about forest life must be realized by me. I must accordingly accompany you, my lord, O darling. It cannot be otherwise. I am sure I shall be permitted by you to follow you and shall eventually accompany you. Nay, the time for the fulfillment of the prophecy has now arrived. Let the utterance of the Brahmins prove true. I certainly know there are sufferings of various kinds in the forest. They are, however, invariably experienced by men of unsubdued mind alone, O heroic prince. While I was still unmarried, the prediction about my dwelling in the forest was heard by me in my father's house from the mouth of a hermitess spending her life in quietism in the presence of my mother. Here too, My lord, you have been actually asked on many occasions in the past the favor of taking me to the forest and spending some time there. Indeed, a journey with a view to spending some time in the forest with you is longed for by me. I am feeling jubilant over the prospect of my departure for the forest. May all be well with you, O scion of Raghu. Service to you, a heroic prince, dwelling in the forest is surely delightful to me. Following my husband to the forest with loving devotion, I shall surely be absolved from all guilt. O pure minded prince, for the husband is the supreme deity for a wife. On my remaining united with you, even in the forest, my union with you will continue forever and will be a source of blessedness to us both even hereafter. On this subject, O highly powerful prince, is heard from the lips of celebrated Brahmans the following holy Shruti text. Even in the other world, a woman continues to be the wife of that very man to whom she was given in this world by her parents with water in their hands and solemnize the gift according to the moral code binding on them. Such being the case, for what reason on earth do you not agree to take me, your own wife, actually so devoted to her husband and of such good character, from this city? You ought, therefore, to take me, so devoted and faithful to my husband, yourself, miserable for fear of separation, alike to pleasure and pain, and sharing your joys and sorrows, O scion of Kakushta. If you do not feel inclined at all to take me, afflicted as I am, as shown above, to the forest, I shall resort to poison, fire, or water to hasten my end. In this way, Sita entreated him in many ways to let her accompany him. Nevertheless, Sri Ram, the mighty armed prince, did not consent to take her to the forest, which was destitute of friends. Discouraged thus, the celebrated Sita, the princess of Mithila, for her part, fell a prey to anxiety, moistening the earth as it were with burning tears dropped from her eyes. In order, however, to divert her from her resolve, the self-possessed Sri Ram, a scion of Kakushta, for his part, then pacified in many ways the said princess of Videha kingdom, who was overwhelmed with indignation, roused by love, and fell a brooding. Thus ends Canto 29 in the AYODHYAKAND of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Jai Shri Ram.